Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I'm doing this video again, or part of it again. I spoke about this yesterday and I want to focus really quickly. It's only going to be a short video. I want to focus on how white men, you are the penguin. And what do I mean by the penguin? You guys have all seen the penguin meme, and if you haven't, you need to go and see it. I got into trouble yesterday for sharing the penguin meme because there was some music added to that penguin meme. It was only like a 5-second clip of some music or something, but the video got flagged, it got removed, and I'm appealing that now. So what I want to do is, I think the monologue that I gave yesterday was still really important to a lot of young men out there, and this is going to identify, why a lot of young men are feeling the way that they are. And I'm talking about young white men now. Young white men are being affected by mental health a lot more than any other cohort. They really are. Look at the statistics of young white men that are doing things to themselves that they don't come back from, if you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm going to do this video again. I'm going to give my opening monologue from yesterday, and then that will be it, because I just want to get this out there again. So if you've not done so already, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share my stuff, because it's the only way this channel grows. So young men, and I'm talking to you guys right now, and all men, especially young white men. You're maybe watching late at night or in the morning, maybe even sat on the toilet at work somewhere, you're feeling that gnawing emptiness in your chest, wondering why everything feels so pointless. You are not alone. You're not alone. Depression, anxiety, that sense of being adrift, it's hitting many of us hard. And especially white men who've grown up hearing tales of our ancestors, charting unknown seas, conquering frontiers, building empires from grit and ingenuity. But let me tell you something that's been doing the rounds online. It's the penguin meme. I don't know if you've seen it. If you've not, go and watch this penguin meme. You've basically got this penguin, right? It's so powerful. You've got a penguin. You've got this penguin in the middle of the wilderness, all right? And there's one in the middle, and one of the penguins waddles off, and he goes to fight. He goes to where the food is. And the other penguin waddles off, and he goes to where the herd is, or the colony. And this penguin in the middle, he looks left and he looks right, and he thinks, what's over there? What's over there? What's those mountains? So he just goes on his own. 70, I think it's like 70 miles, and he's facing almost certain he ain't coming back from that, but he's going anyway. And it's so powerful. It's not just a cute animal picture. It's a gut-wrenching metaphor that nails exactly what I've been talking about on this channel for so long regarding white culture, regarding white Western culture, our heritage. White culture. And listen, I'm not being negative to any other cultures. If you want to go and marry your cousin and have loads of kids, that's fine. I welcome it. I embrace. Go and do that. If you want to go and have parties on beaches, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Go and do that all you want. I'm talking about my culture. At its core, white culture, white Western culture has always been about expansion, exploration, innovation, pushing yourselves to the absolute limits. Venturing into the unknown and beyond with nothing but your whips and your mitts. Think about it. Our forebearers sailed across storm-tossed oceans to discover new lands, scaled unclimbable mountains, invented machines that changed the world forever. That spirit of conquest, taming the wild, finding new resources, building something from nothing, that is in your blood. You can't turn those blood memories off. It's what drove the Industrial Revolution right here in Britain. It's what sent explorers like Scott and Shackleton to the poles. What fueled the moon landings and beyond. But here's the kicker, the dark, harsh reality that's leaving so many of you, so many of us feeling detached, unmoored, like you're just going through the motions of life without any real purpose. The world has been fully explored. There's no more uncharted territories, maybe Antarctica, no fresh horizons to chase. The wilderness has been tamed. The resources have been mapped, and globalization has shrunk everything into your mobile phone, into a connected, predictable grid where everything is just numbers. Where's the adventure? Where is the call to arms that stirs your soul? Where's the exploration that you go out there? And that's why we're seeing this decline in Western culture, this erosion of what made us great. It's not about economics or politics. It's deeper. It's more personal. It's in your blood. Young white men like you and me, we are feeling it most because that innate drive, that explorer's instinct, it has nowhere to go. You wake up feeling restless, disconnected from the world, because your true calling whispers from the unknown, from the wild, from the frontiers, the untamed lands where you can test yourself, where you can innovate and carve a legacy from nothing. Instead, you are stuck in a society that tells you to sit still, consume, conform, pay your taxes. No wonder mental health is absolutely at its, like, among young white men, it's horrific, guys. That suppressed energy turns inward, breeding isolation, self-doubt, despair. It's like that lone penguin wandering off from the colonies, not out of weakness, but perhaps out of something deeper, something deep and unspoken, the unspoken urge to seek something more, to become greater than the sum of their own parts, even if that means facing that abyss alone. And that's where we are, guys, right now. And that is why we are seeing the absolute decline. We're seeing the decline in masculinity. We're seeing the decline in Western culture because we don't have anywhere to expand into anymore. And that's the harsh reality. So I'm not going to share the meme with you guys. I did that yesterday and I got into a lot of trouble. I got my video banned. Not banned, restricted, so it's not being shown, basically. And I did want to get this out because I know a lot of you, I watched Paddy Pimblett fight the other day, and he was talking about the same thing. There is a massive decline in masculinity, and the reason there's a decline in masculinity among young white men, we don't have anything to put that energy into. There's no great expanse to explore. There's no, we don't have anything anymore. What built civilization? Civilization's built now. You don't need the builders. What do builders do when the house is built? Well, they go build another house. Okay, what when all the houses are built? Well, they are useless then. You just fill the houses with people who can't build. And that's what we're going right now. We're filling the houses with people who can't build. I do think hope is on the horizon. I do. And this is a bit wild. I do. I should probably do another live stream on this. Do you know what? I think this is another live stream. I do think that if you guys have been following my channel, I've been saying we're heading towards a global conflict on an industrial scale. After that, maybe in another 10 years, there has to be another push for space. And when there is that next push for space to industrialize space, you're going to need the explorers. You're going to need those men who can go out there and think greater than the sum of their own parts. You're going to need young white men to go out there. That's the reality. They are going to be the ones pushing, driving, succeeding, innovating, driving, finding new lands, finding new resources, maybe on the moon, maybe a floating base around Venus, maybe on Mars, who knows where. Asteroid mining, bringing resources back, all for the greater good. And the sooner that happens, as far as I'm concerned, the absolute better. Right, let me get a couple of comments and then I will close this down. I just want this to be a short video, guys. Michelle is saying, I've always known there's more to this life, and I'm right. Just finding the like-minded people. Right, let me turn the chat on. Sorry, I didn't have the chat on. Ben is saying, I'm 22 and you're right, to be honest. Ben, thank you so much, mate. I know how you listen. I know how people feel. When I was like 16, I joined the military, and I had that direction, I had that force, I had that adventure, I had that push, that drive to succeed. You know, I went to new lands, I learned new languages, I learned new skills. But right now, we don't have that anymore. Everywhere's been mapped. Cindy is saying it's evil. They've been attacked and blamed for everything. Feel nothing to feel guilty for. Michelle is saying, Raven, yes, I totally agree. I see it as a metaphorical abscess. Things have to get worse before they can get better. They are, guys. They do have to get better before worse before they get better. Do you really, Sean? Yes. If I said it, then I would. I don't know what that's in. I don't know what's in. That's in context to D. Marie. Hence, we need the penguin. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think, yeah. So I got my last penguin video banned, guys. So I just wanted to jump on here and do another video about this, because I know how difficult it is right now I know how difficult it is for young men, right? Especially young white men. I've been talking about this for a while. There's nowhere to put that energy into. If you think about all other cultures around the world, people say, you get these people, oh, what is British culture? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you winding me up? Are you winding me up right now? British culture, ergo Western culture, ergo white Western culture, would be expansion, developing new lands, going places that are uncharted, finding new stuff and creating worlds. But when all the land's being explored and all the worlds have been created, there isn't anything to do. There is nothing to do. But I do think it's coming, guys. I do think it's coming. So if you're a young man right now, just hold fast, because I do think, and I really believe this, and I'm not just saying this to be like woo-woo and wild. I do think after these wars are over, there's going to be a mass push into space. I do. There has to be. There really has to be. Right, guys, I am going to close this down. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to close this down. You guys have been fantastic. I only wanted this to be a short video, guys. So I will be back on. I think I'm going to be back on later on, actually. And I'm going to do a video on the future of space exploration. When I talk about space video, when I do space videos like that, they don't really get as many views, but I am a space geek, so I do like doing them. So I think I'm going to come back on later this afternoon. I'm going to tie these in together, and I'm going to talk about the coming space industrialization, because it has to happen. It really does. It really has to happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I bid you good afternoon, and on whatever time of day it is you're watching. I'll see you later. Hang on. We need more money for mental health, but alas, you know where the money is going. Yeah, it does make people sick.